Miracle
and
playing the off-lane Mirana.
oh, Execration, show us your hand. Templar Assassin, so it looks like Next Gen were right with what they were thinking. But a TA mid against Invoker, going to be pretty decent there. Wins that matchup in a 1v1, then he'll have like OD Mirana as the... do you want to go OD Mirana safe lane, or do you actually want to go with that aggressive lane you mentioned? OD Mirana Ogre, or is OD just like too fragile in that kind of off lane position?
I didn't go OD Mirana safe lane because it really shuts down the Sand King. I don't think he could even lane there. He might just need to go Iron Talon jungle. By the way, this is a great TA game because when your refraction is up, literally nobody's stunning you except Sand King. Even Invoker, his method of early game control a lot of times is cold snap, right? But when you have refraction up, you're pretty much good. Things like, I mean, technically you have poison touch that could melt the Templar shield. But what I'm looking at is Templar Assassin could blink in and just kill Disruptor, blink in and kill Dazzle before they can even react. So great TA game. Abed is very good on the TA. So I'm expecting a lot of easy kills for him.
Yeah, I feel like we've gone from game 1 where Next Gen, outplayed Execration a little bit. Game 2 where it was relatively balanced back and forth, a bit of a wonky draft from Next Gen. This feels like an Execration outdraft, like a full we're going to take this game 3 and you've got nothing to do with it. We're just going to stomp you from start to finish. But we'll see how the lanes actually set themselves up and progress, as we do have Sand King heading towards the off lane. Yassi on the Dazzle. Different Heaven once again playing his Invoker and Seal. Well, there's going to be no juking this time. No Rubik Shikuchi shenanigans. No Lycan shapeshift nonsense. Just playing the kind of solid, safe Disruptor, while Sandboy on the Razor down on this safe lane. 3-4-3 already gets a good ward from his Mirana down towards the bottom after that smoke. And DJ on the Axe hasn't decided what he wants to buy just yet. Has enough money for the Iron Talon if he decides it's necessary. But you're right, Abed TA. Chemo on the Ogre, and Gabby will be the Outworld Devourer. A couple of sets of tangos. They're hiding away in these trees.
Huh. Not exactly a first blood attempt or anything. I think they're just grouping up to look to take the bottom rune. But I want to ask your thought about the Razor last pick, because it seemed like it's a little odd. Normally it's a great counter to, let's say, a melee core. You see it counter picking Lifestealer a lot, Sven a lot. This game, not sure. I'm not sure exactly what it's for.
Either Storm is good against refraction, just like the ticks of damage is pretty nice.
Yeah, but it's not that fast,
no.
like, in terms of removing the refraction.
Honestly, I'm trying to like devil's advocate here. You're ruining it for me. I'm trying to find ways for the Razor to work. It zones Axe out of lane reasonably well, and DJ's gone for Stout Shield and not Iron Talon. But I'm not sure. It's an interesting one. I mean, I've played a bit of Razor recently, but it's been Razor mid, where you go like Aquila Boots of Travel with a bottle. You just like TP from lane to lane. You join fights. You split push, and you're just in general a nuisance, and you can farm decently. But
right.
in this game where Execration, you can see it, right? 15 minutes into this game, once they have Blink TA, Blink Axe, and maybe a Force Staff on OD, the fights will never stop. It will just be fights non-stop. Oh, Arrow lands onto a creep. Ash went to Arrow, not going to work out when Sand King's in the middle of the creep wave. Chemo still throws the Ignite down. It's a Caustic Finale level 1 on Sand King, so he is taking a fair amount of chip damage there. Dazzle will be there to protect him. Meanwhile, down in bottom lane, Static Link from Sadboy into DJ. They've got the right clicks coming through, but it won't be enough. The Stout Shield, as well as the Tango regen from DJ, keeping him alive through all of it.
Yep. Meanwhile, back in the mid lane here, Different Heaven actually holding his own here against TA. Both of these heroes would kind of ramp up. I think it's going to be a pretty even. TA getting better refraction, Different Heaven getting better base damage. We'll have to watch how good Abed's side blades are.
That's what it comes down to, right? Is like utilizing Forge Spirit to chip away at refraction for the Invoker, and then Sideblade Splash to whittle away at what little regen the Invoker has in the early stages of this laning phase. So it's so like disappointing when you have to go for 2 points in Quas and 1 point in Exalt to try and keep yourself regened up. It looks like he's going to be okay for now. He's kept himself a decent life total, and he's already forced the salve out of Abed. On top lane, Sand King moved away from this lane, and speaking of, Axe has gone back into the jungle.
Yeah, Like you said, the one thing that the Razor does do very well is to bully the X. Again, bullies most melee heroes pretty well. Especially with Disruptor getting more points into Glimpse, that should be a very easy kill. So he's gonna go back to the jungle like you said. Unfortunately, he did not start with Iron Talon, so it's gonna be very slow. 343 leaps back into the tower, but actually might still die. The poison taking him down. Gonna be close.
They've got mana. They've got arrow, but it's not gonna come out just yet. It wasn't in time, and 343 held onto it, but they turned back onto the Dazzle. The arrow will fly now and hits in with a call, and your first blood goes to DJ. If he didn't have Iron Talon yet, he will now.
Yep. Gonna get that ferried out immediately. But that was a 4-man gank on your Dazzle. You're like, alright. Good on you.
Well, good job, guys. Congrats. Like the congratis, you can buy Null Talus. 4-man gank to Dazzle, but DJ, he's got the full jungle at his disposal, and he's already stacked himself up a nice little medium camp. Even though the Razor on bottom lane is free farming, Razor never feels like one of those heroes that it's like, oh, one big item and you're gonna go and own people. It's not the. It never feels like the sort of massive tempo hero where it's like you buy a blink or an armlet or a dragon lance, and it's like, okay, I'm a big beefy hero now. It's kind of the constant, solid. I'm pretty good all the way through the game.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have difficulty playing Razor precisely for that reason, where it's like, you know, Spectre picks up Radiance, let's go do stuff, right? For Razor, his peaks and what's the opposite of troughs are kind of not as apparent. Dragonlance, I would say, is going to be his first peak, or if he goes Drums, that's a big peak as well in the early game. And then I think BKB is your second peak. And then you generally want to take fights at that point. But you're right, like he could, you know, at any drop of the hat, he could just say, team, let's go push a tier 1 tower. Imagine that's going to start in about, 10 minutes or so.
I do wonder if he'll go for the boots of travel, which we've seen a lot in Europe. You know, Ace and I guess Eternal Envy's already done it a fair few times on the Razor, but we'll see what he heads to. Ogre Magi for Chemo has no items in his inventory. Places the final Observer Ward up on top of the cliff top near the tier 1 for the Radiant team. He's got enough money for boots. He's holding on to 500 gold, but they want to aim towards this Invoker mid. You know, they've applied a bit of pressure with the TA. Pretty even on last hits. Invoker is slightly ahead here. Different heaven. Looks like he's managing to outplay Abed in this matchup. I mean, in the previous one, it was Storm against Invoker, and Abed crushed him. You know, it was 13 CS against like the 5 of Invoker at like 2.5, 3 minutes. And this time around, he's keeping it all balanced out.
And you can make the argument that Storm is actually weaker as a laner, at least compared to the TA. I wonder if different heaven is doing something a little bit differently. Top lane though, fights are happening.
The Sand King is dead. They even get the Astral onto Dazzle. There's rotation in from Disruptor. They throw the kinetic field down. Dazzle doesn't have the grave. He's gone for the 1-0-2 build, but Chemo, he can't continue chasing. The thing is, 343 has a Starstorm and the double one as he gets into range for it. Doesn't need the arrow, I don't think, but he threw it just for good measure anyway.
I wonder if it's time to abandon this lane. It's just not working out. They're dying way too much.
Yeah. Send the Sand King back into the jungle. He's got money for Iron Talon, but I think he's got his eyes set on like Arcane Boots. But the Dazzle, like the thing is, Dazzle isn't needed bot or mid, and Disruptor neither, but it's kind of a weird dynamic where they don't form the best aggressive tri-lane like as those three, right? Disruptor is annoying with Thunderstrike, but it doesn't offer you a massive amount of aggressive potential.
I think they're more or less like a placeholder. Because they're there, Invoker is not getting ganked. And I think that speaks to one of the reasons why he's actually farming a lot better this game. He doesn't have to play as if he's gonna get backstabbed. Like, remember Ogre backstabbing from behind tier 1 tower constantly? Mirana getting poked here by Seal here. Is Seal actually gonna get a solo kill? No, 343 now leaps over the ramp again. And he's free.
And he's got Arcane Boots. 343's got a fair amount of cash behind him, and with the arrow we can just continue farming large creeps like the Dark Troll here.
Yep.
Looking pretty good for him. Razor, phase boots, and heading into the Aquila. So it's pretty standard so far for now. This aggressive dual lane, Sand King and Dazzle. Be wary with your positioning, especially when DJ is coming in from the side. They just need an Astral. The Burst Strike expended. The Sunstrike's down. Chemo drops low, but it's not enough to kill. And they turn back around with a call coming in. The damage from the Plasma Field kills off the Ogre now. The static link onto the OD as well. The dunk kills off. The Sanking at long last, but DJ, can you escape from this with a poison touch from Yassi? I don't think you can. Sad Boy's too quick when Phase Boot's coming through. Razor heading into the You said it perfectly. At the drop of a hat, Razor goes from laning and being boring to killing off 2 people on this top lane.
Yeah, and then he goes back being boring and just farms more creeps. He's actually a very boring hero to play in my opinion. But yeah, he does have those power spike. Great TP rotation by Sad Boys here. I wonder if he's going to go for the drums or the Dragonlance. Yeah, what kind of build is it going to be? Definitely not a farming oriented one because we don't see the BO3. We see a Phase Boots first. Looks like he is going to be going Dragonlance. Yeah,
picks up the Band of Elven Skin. That's pretty good up against this Outworld Devour, against the TA, keep your distance. Keep on draining that damage as Abed. Not looking too great for him, honestly. 3k net worth, 500 behind the Invoker as Invoker finds kill on the Mirana. Top lane though, the Razor, he's caught in the call. They just need a dunk from DJ, but the poison touch keeps him at bay. The final hits in from the Orbs of OD. We'll get the Razor, but Mirana died over in the Radiant jungle.
Okay. Guess he just got Sunstriked?
Yeah, looks
like Sunstrike
it.
was on cooldown.
I guess Glimpse into Sunstrike was what was used there.
I gotta say though, this top lane is finding kills a little bit too easily for my taste, because it's just Astra into call, or Astra into arrow. Just guaranteed almost. The Dazzle, again, just not really doing anything, apart from delaying the kills.
That's a good observable down by Seal at least, so controlling this bottom lane around the Ancients, the TA, not going to get easy access there as the Observer Ward will block and scout what she's up to. And Templar Assassin's been spending a lot of time back in the jungle, but her counterpart, we looked at the 14-minute Midas in the previous game, and you look at it now, and this is like a 7.5-minute Midas, or 7:45 Midas here for Different Heaven, as he's already got his first usage out of it.
Yeah. And he's winning the lane, like you said. In fact, about 800 net worth, higher than the TA. Obviously, a lot of the net worth for the TA is still in that Ancient stack, but who knows? Maybe she'll get ganked as she's doing it. Especially if this tier 1 bottom goes down. It'll make that gank path into the Ancients much easier.
Yes. Always got to remember this is a super important game for both teams. You know, so often in Game 3 of a best of 3, we see teams, you know, sit back and rely on their mid-game decision-making rather than early-game aggression and, you know, going in on these lanes. I mean, Axe DJ is a bit too far forward. Dunks and calls, but with the Sunstrike and the Thunderstrike, they do get the kill back onto him. Seal will be able to retreat, so a 1-for-1 there. As Axe and Sand King, it's the race towards the Blink Dagger between the two of them. But it's honestly an important game in this best of 3. You know, Next Gen want to prove that they can go up against the best. The opponents they'll face next is Rave, while Execration, they need to... Honestly, it feels like they need to validate their invite to the Boston Major. Obviously, they'll have a chance to do that at the Boston Major, but in the meantime, they've got to get the practice in. They've got to win these games.
Well, I mean, everyone keeps saying, like, oh, direct invitee makes Execration getting wrecked and stuff like that. So we have Different Heaven, perhaps getting ganked mid. The trap's going to fly through, but here comes the Sanking as well as Disruptor. They got the Static Storm. It's going to be good on 2 here. In fact, 3 as Chemo walks in and now walks back out. Invoker does die, but how much will they lose? Abed taking a lot of damage, another Burrow striking, and a lot of Glimpse coming in as well. That's going to be a 3-for-1 exchange. The supports are there. Invoker, again, goes down, but now a Razor also joining in for the push.
They clap their hands, and there's 5 heroes mid lane from Next Gen, while Execration, they're trying to fight with 3. Now, Axe farming jungle, and they've obviously got this OD still battling up on top lane. Goes for the Veil of Discord as the primary item, then treads and Force Staff to follow shortly after, but it's this Razor just comes into fight so fast, pushes the Sand King closer to Blink Dagger, and Invoker, he's got his Midas, he's like dying there, sure, it's annoying, but it doesn't matter a massive amount, especially when you kill off the TA before she can head into Deso or Blink or one of these big items that swings her momentum heavily into her favor.
She hasn't taken that stack yet, so that's going to be another path of attack here by NG.
Absolutely.
I think if you're a support here on the NG side, you have a smoke on you, and you just eye that Observer Ward and make a play. CO does have one on him, so the Storm is cooling down in 15. Maybe it's time to go.
He is all the way up towards the top lane with the Invoker though, while Dazzle and Razor move in for the tier 1 bottom. 3-4-3's Mirana, Arcanes and Urn, level 7. Moonlight Shadow could prove to be that one big game changer as Execration have grouped up towards the bottom lane. I think it's going to be Moonlight Shadow time. Get enough gold for Axe to get his Blink Dagger. They spot the TA though. Spot the Courier though. Abed swipes that one out. Easy pick off. And Sad Boy gets out of the call. Razor might be able to TP this one off. There's no more stuns to go. And Arrow was off the mark.
Huh. I guess he was expecting the Razor to farm a creep, and then Razor's kind of just went to the right side. Top lane though, Astro already expended here as Gabby gets glimpsed back, and that is going to be a kill.
Nice little Burrow strike in from the Sand King, and that secures his Blink Dagger, while Axe about 80 gold away from his Execration. Yeah, he's pinging out. I just need a couple of creeps, guys. Give me these creeps, and I've got my Blink. So the race of the Blink Dagger, Sand King wins, but not by much. Come down to who starts the next fight first, while Dazzle a little bit too far forward there. Battle Hunger into Arrow, and they've got the call and the dunk to finish him off. Easy peasy. DJ will go and claim his prize over in the side shop.
DJ's been playing super well. This is his second event with him on the offlane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been evolving quite rapidly, I have to say. And by the way, people saying that, you know, Execration directly by LoL, they just came second in a LAN tournament, so I don't know. I feel like
LOL that.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Granted, I think they had a very easy path to the second place.
Yeah.
But second place still second place.
They performed decently. They were satisfactory in their actions. OD. I thought he was getting converged on there by the Sand King. Razor and Disruptor. Still two heroes split across the map. Dazzle is mid. Invoker. Again, heading straight into the Aghanim Scepter. No drums, no Yules, no Force, no nothing. Looks like Different Heaven loves to go Brown Boots, Midas, Aquila. Throw in a Windlace here, but Aghanim Scepter, the big primary item for him. Now OD has expended Astral, but Gabby got to keep his wits about him as the Forge Spirits move forward. And we're looking for a glimpse there, and maybe a Blink Burrow Strike from the Sand King. This might be the time to go, but no. No, Gabby is too far away, and SK retreats as hastily as he possibly can.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yules does actually take off the refraction, right? From TA? I want to say that's the case.
I believe so.
Uh-oh. Arrow? Whew.
Yeah, Dazzle's just straight up dead. There's no way that NG should come in to fight this, surely not, unless the Epicenter Burrow Strike onto Axe. The Astral saves him, and the Static Storm is still there, flapping around, but DJ's alive. And that's why NG shouldn't go in and fight it. The Astral saves the one target stuck in the mix. Refraction's a weird spell, though. Oh, yeah, you're right. Astral into Arrow, flies and hits, and Razor caught in the mix. And Sand King's a good Burrow Strike, but it's DJ with a Blink Call and Culling Blade. A double kill with the spins. Clears up another, and the chase is on. They run forward to the bloodlusted TA. And Seal, you can't juke with a Disruptor. You're not a Shikuchi Weaver. Played by a Rubik. That's a Deso, Abed, TA. And all of a sudden, they come racing out of the gates.
Yeah, those 2-3 kills in a row has just turned the game around, because not only do they get tier 1, Execration is going to go into the Roshan pit after and take that as well. And because Epicenter as well as Storm has just been used in the previous team fight, they can't really challenge it. So to me, that was like kind of a 3,000 to 4,000 net worth fight. And Execration came out ahead of that. How quickly does the game snowball?
Very quickly, it looks like. But yeah, Refraction's a weird ability. Like, there's still some wonky interactions with like raindrops and stuff as well.
Yep.
The raindrops pop even though you've got refraction up, but
maybe I'm confusing it with Ember's Flame Guard. That definitely gets removed.
Yeah, Flame Guard definitely purges off, but I mean, you can't use off all the refraction charges. I thought you meant if you can take off one of the charges.
No, I thought you could take off all of them.
I know, you definitely can't. Oh, hello Ogre. Astral to save him for now, but this means the static link is extended in duration, and Chemo just one crack of the whip. Sad Boy finds the kill. Just an Ogre, it's fine. 3-4-3 still farming halfway towards his Aghanim Scepter. A glimpse back, and he's got no leap. He buys out, make sure he spent all of his gold, and well, it turns from Just an Ogre into Just an Ogre and Just a Mirana. That's a pretty good double kill for Just a Razor.
Yeah. I don't think they can actually push off of this though. Their team is not exactly like great at pushing. I say that though. Snapboy going off here with this illusion, gets himself 200 more damage.
Thanks for the free damage, TA illusion.
Yeah. I think the economy game though for NG is not as good as. I mean, they have the Invoker Midas running, but everywhere I look, you know, Execution is looking to stack Ancients or stack some camp, and they're taking it quite fast. They're also, to me, a faster farming team, a bed being a big part of that. Once he has Desolator up, kind of just go off and punch 2 shots a whole wave.
Tier 1 top, the net is closing. Abed, Blink, Deso, and this is what you're talking about. This is what you mentioned when the TA was picked. Sand King Burrow Strike's in, the Aegis going to be expended here. Popped it out by the Sunstrike, and they're going to throw the Epicenter in as well, but Abed blinks away. I mean, now maybe they'll look to turn this one around. They've got another trap to throw out. They've got no good way to catch any heroes though as next gen get behind the tier 2.
A good idea here by the Sand King, but timing a little bit off.
It's just going to be a free tier 1 for them at top lane, isn't it? Observable's getting spammed around as well. I think next gen knows that one of these has been placed. They're pinging out up onto the high ground to signify that.
Yeah, I mean, when your Disruptor gets randomly jumped next to his tier 2.
How did they know? How did they see me?
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
What does OD have? Oh, OD's got a hood as well. Can I kill Sand King? Oh, with the dunk. Oh, good Burrow Strike down to low ground, and the Sandstorm's there. Razor comes in with a link onto DJ, and with the Cold Snap down. DJ, he's got a Astral up from the OD. He's got another Blink call as well. He might be able to jump onto someone. He jumps back, actually, to get away from the fight as Gabby wails in onto the Dazzle, and Razor with the Astral there. They've killed off Seal in the back end, but it's going to be a freebie as Dazzle drops. And you're talking about Snowball, and you look at this, just heroes dying one by one from NG.
And the problem is that every time they go on anybody, Gabby is there with the Astro. Or if you don't go on them, Astro sets up a kill into a call or arrow. It's just, Astro is the biggest thing here.
And Gabby has been, he's been relatively quiet this game as well, right? He's just been farming away silently. 4-staff, Veil, Hood.
There you go, that's a kill. Or not. They're not gonna go and see the Sand King. In fact, Sand King going in.
Cold Snap Meteor. It looks good onto the Ogre. And once again, the Astral gives the static link that extra duration. Chemo is trapped inside the little force field created by the Disruptor, and they'll just give up the Ogre and retreat themselves away. 343 still trying to farm his Aghanim Scepter. I think that's what he's really aiming for.
Yep.
Hood.
Well, there you go, that's a kill. We did see Execution throw away a 10k advantage before. Fact? Against EVOS. I believe you and I were casting that game.
Cold Snap Meteor.
So I don't want to count anybody out, but I don't know. I don't think that will happen again. They have a lineup that scales amazingly well. In fact, 343 on the support Mirana is about to hit Ags. So that's another core you have to worry about.
Well, I've killed the TA mid. I was just about to make the point that Dazzle and Disruptor aren't really great heroes at going and doing stuff aggressively, but I guess when you pair the Disruptor up with the Sand King, you just throw your spells in on top of the Burrow Strike, have a Sunstrike globally thrown out as well. You do have the potential to set up some solo pickoffs, but if Execration group up as 5 and start running towards your towers and into your base, it comes down to Sand King and Sand King alone almost to defend and actually win these team fights for them. Like, if Sand King gets a good Burrow Strike Epicenter, then sure, your fight's going to go well, but if he doesn't have that opportunity, it's not.
I think a lot of it also comes down to whether OD is there to Astro, right? Because essentially, if you commit on a hero and you get Astro, then you have a ton of spells on cooldown, and suddenly that hero is saved, and you have to run, and it's hard to run against this Execration lineup. Also, BKBs are starting to come out on Templar Assassin as well as OD. I imagine that's going to be his next item. Once BKB comes online, like, what the hell does Disruptor Sand King do? Or Dazzle? They do very little. So the outlook of this game is very grim for NG, in my opinion.
Yeah. It'll be a Hurricane Pike for Gabby first. He's pretty much got that completed, just like 100 or so gold away from finishing it. And I think I agree, BKB on TA and OD. Next Roshan, get the Aegis on one of them. And then it feels like they can do whatever they want, you know, move up to high ground, start bullying back these tier 3s. Next generation, SNY and the Dragonlance on Razor. They've got the BO3s over on the Invoker now, able to move himself across the map, but once more, if you know your Dazzle is here dewarding a sentry and is going to get jumped on and obliterated by a Templar Assassin in a matter of seconds, things get messy very quickly. This Moonlight Shadow moves them into position. Oh, it's good by NG. They're going to TP themselves away. It's just going to be the Dazzle. Poor little Dazzle. Could have been much worse, though.
Yeah. I mean, Yahtzee's used to it. He's played 3 games as the hard support. In fact, last game he was the only support. You know, tanks one for the team.
Are you saying that Jungle Lycan isn't a support hero?
Look, he was the highest net worth on his team, so
he really was.
I'm gonna say no.
He's the carry now.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is it though. Execration. They eye up the tier 2. They cut the wave. More gold to line their pockets, and you know, we start to see the NG from game number 1, where they are starting to realize they can't go in and fight this. They're trying to split push a little bit, but their draft doesn't allow for too much of this. Invoker is probably their best split pusher with Forge Spirits and Alacrity.
Yep, and the BOTs, which he has right now. You know, the downside of having a Razor in your team is when you fall behind, like Razor's not exactly one of the best heroes. You know, going back to your point earlier, you don't buy one big item and say, boom, we're back in it. In fact, you kind of have to buy 2 to 3 items to get yourself back. And obviously, he doesn't have that time, so.
Or the
not
flash
exactly
farm
sure what
capability.
Razor. Or the what?
Or the flash farm capability. Like he has to like right-click creeps. He can't just go and clear a stack or anything like that, right?
Some players actually even turn on the ultimate just to farm, but you know, that's a pretty risky maneuver when you get caught with your, you know, if they're pushing your base and you don't have your ult. That's a pretty big deal.
Ghost walk from different heaven. Don't have any reveal to see him. TA already killed off the Dazzle in the back as we were watching the Invoker get closed in on there by the rest of Execration, but Roshan's alive and scouted by the trap. That should be maybe the signal of the end of days here from NG. OD might not even need a BKB for this. Do you think OD gets the Aegis instead of the TA, now that TA has Black King Bar?
I think so. Actually, this OD is super tanky as well, right? I mean, it's a weird set of items. I'm not sure if you were casting the C games during the Boston qualifiers, but there was a game where Miracle was playing a safe lane OD, and he went Hood first into a Veil, like very similar to this particular inventory. It was a game where they play against I think Fnatic. No, or Faceless. They were defending the high ground for like 100 minutes.
I didn't see that one.
Okay. Well, this particular build allows you to flash farm because of the Veil, and you're super tanky. So you're not looking to deal the bulk of the damage in a team fight. That will fall back to the TA. But he's a very kind of a good support semi-core. And you could see that this game, he's really mostly playing for his Astro, and not so necessarily walking in to dish out Arcane Orb shots.
Yeah, in this game, Abed is like the carry, and Gabby's the backup in case things go wrong, but up onto high ground they go, and TA with the Aegis. The refraction, they glimpse back the axe. Make sure there's no jump in there. The BKB from Razor, you know, it's nice and all, but it doesn't save you from an axe blink call. And in the meantime, Invoker is finally split pushing on this tier 3, getting some chip damage into the tower. Execration have to make a decision. They kill off tier 2 mid. Do they continue high ground? Do they go back and defend? They TP to deal with this Invoker, and it looks like it's going to be the latter. They send 343 back at the very least with his Aghanim Starstorm thrown out to clear out the Forge Spirits, but they're jumping in. Abed, he's looking for the Disruptor. Yule Scepter into the air, and Sad Boy, static link onto Abed. The blink call, looking for the dunk, kills him off. Now Razor's caught in the mix as well, but a good Burrow Strike through onto the OD will catch him out. Oh, deafening kills off Axe, but retreat, blink out. Does Execration hold his high ground once more?
That was a great static link. I think that's the first fight where a bed got static link. And I think it drained over like 130 damage from him. Suddenly, Templar Assassin, despite turning on the BKB, not exactly the biggest threat. And that is the downside when you're putting so much eggs into that Templar basket. Especially when Gabby's gone for this kind of item build. If you ever get the link onto the TA, you're in a good shape to take a long fight.
Yeah, now you have BKBs on Invoker and the Razor, so that backup damage from the OD, it's not as apparent anymore. Thanks to those Magic Community items up on them. They're still susceptible to getting jumped and killed by Axe and Templar Assassin. Especially when Grave is your only real saving ability. And you can see the Dazzle 1 point in Grave didn't even bother leveling it up past 1. Due to that Axe.
I think that's a correct choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't do much.
It's like, hey, I've wasted mana on a spell that's going to get countered by an Axe ulti. Cool stuff. Well, they're just going to go again. Still holding on to the Aegis onto Abed. He can stand high ground, and he can maybe go and look for a cheeky pick on someone, but it's the Vietnamese that jump in first with the Static Storm whiffing. The Boris Strike was a good setup, but Chemo's dragged back into it. The trouble is Razor has to deal with the Templar Assassin. Abed BKBs and runs forward, but realizes he's almost 2v5 here in this Radiant side of the map. Holding onto the Aegis, the jump again. Tornado catches Gabby with the EMP down. Full stabs onto the low ground. Glimpse.
Oh.
Astral's
Does he
there.
end up in the base?
He ends up in the base. He does. He definitely does. Epicenter, where is it? It's coming through, but it's too slow. The damage is done, and Abed is cleared up. One Razor's gone. Has to buy back into this as the Sand King gets a decent Boros Strike once more, but TA can blink away from this Aegis revival. Oh no, she can't. The Deafening Blast, perfect time. Invoker, Astral's there to save her, and now I'm going to say it again. TA can blink away from this inevitable death with a glimpse back in. The Boros Strike's there, and TA's caught, but equally, Invoker's dead. No buyback from him, and Sad Boy, this could be a dieback. DJ, no blink available. A good poison touch from the Dazzle keeps him at bay. Well, Abed earned up.
How many fucking Astrals?
Like
this
5?
This is triggering me because it's like he's dead 4 times now.
He's dead, Astral. He's dead, Astral. Oh, he's dead, right? No, Astral.
Oh my god. And every time he Astral, it just like resets the cooldown of that refraction. So he has it again. It's like, okay. There we go again.
I feel like Astral, I think it was Scant, or was it you that said it, just remove the ability to use it on your teammates. They're going to jump in again. The Static Storm finally lands. No, it doesn't. BKB from Abed keeps them away, and DJ goes in onto Dazzle, Graves himself. Where's the Axe? He's moved himself back, but comes in with a Culling Blade at long last, and a double dunk for DJ. Finds the 2 supports, and now Sad Boy running back into Fountain. But in the meantime, it's the Boros Strike and Sand King trying to get to safety, which is 6 feet under apparently, as Gabby clears him up easily, and racks are falling. The buyback from Sand King will come to naught here. Execration finally got themselves a lane of racks.
I mean, it's not like they had to buy back in BO3 anyways. In fact, it's going to be the Radiant team that bought back, right? I think Invoker bought back and still died. They still lost the racks. Execration, if they want to play comfortably, could wait for the next Roche. Or they could just kind of buy items and just go mid.
Yeah.
I don't think NG has shown them anything that will make them worry for another high ground push.
Razor Dazzle bought back. Invoker doesn't have enough money for it. He's still 300 short, unfortunately. Okay. DJ?
Yeah.
Seems good. Where did that come from?
I mean, you just got a double kill. They just got a racks. So.
I suddenly have a Heart of Tarask on top of Pipe Blink Force. A little bit surprising he's not gone for the Blade Mail, but regardless, he is a tanky beast up at the front, and no smoke just yet from Execration, but they will be walking into a full 5 squad here of Next Gen. There's the jump forward. Caught the Ogre with a Sunstrike and Force Staff doubly so away and over the cliff tops. Next Gen won't find a break as 343 actually goes aggressively forward. There's the urn. Oh, DJ Blink called, not going to land though, and he's glimpsed back away from this. Sand King looks for the Ogre still. They want to fight. Chemo will be the hero that drops at long last, but Abed, he's got traps, he's got blink, he's got Enemies in his sight. So does DJ. It's just a matter of actually catching someone.
Alright, that should be the end of the fight here. NG's gonna go back up and push out the lanes. Execration not backing off despite losing Ogre. They're like, let's keep pushing. Pretty ballsy stuff, in fact. They have Trap in the Roshan pit to scout that one out. Get knocked back for a couple more minutes.
And now what do you do as next gen? Just hold your line, bunker down in your base, and hope Execration don't dive? Or maybe hope they dive too deep.
Yeah, Execration has been actually playing quite calm and collected, right? They haven't really dove into the tier 4, just really objective-based gaming. Trying their best to close out the game without any throws, and I don't think they've been throwing at all this game. Pretty solid game so far.
It's been slow and steady, but got themselves a 24,000 net worth lead. 21,000 experience lead over the Radiant as well, and you can see a lot of that. The TA and the OD up at the top, with Razor falling behind the Axe even. As Epicenter channeled, but it was a blink back from Execration.